And welcome to another episode of Tickly Mouth. My name's Sophie Ross and this is Evie. This episode we're going to do a really perfect lasagna for your dinner menu repertoire.
Yeah.
Lasagna is a perfect family meal, but it's also quite impressive for if you've got people coming around. Although it takes a little bit of time, it's mega super easy, isn't it, Evie?
Yeah.
So first of all, you want to make your meat sauce, which is essentially a bolognese sauce. 1 onion.
1 onion.
Chop it up into fine dice. 1 or 2 carrots. Peeled. Most people like to chop up their carrots into fine dice as well, but I find it much quicker and I prefer the texture of a grated carroty bolognese. 1 big saucepan. Olive oil. When it's heated up, you're going to add your onions and a squidge of a couple of cloves of garlic. In! Good sound! You can also add celery. I used up all my celery last night, so I'm not going to use celery. I'm going to add some squash. And I can tell you from experience that squash in lasagna, butternut squash, pumpkin, whatever, is really delicious. Once everything's all chopped up, add it into your onion and garlic saucepan. Let that go for a good couple of minutes, at which point you want to pop in your 500 grams of beef mince to brown off, and then you just have to keep stirring it around so all of the meat touches the bottom of the pan, basically. And once your meat is totally brown, add some pepper, add some salt, add a sprinkling of mixed herbs or Italian seasoning, a tablespoon of tomato puree, and a couple of heaped tablespoons of plain flour. The flour is not obligatory if you're wheat intolerant or anything like that. It just helps with the thickening process. Stir. Then add a tin of chopped tomatoes, a small glass of red wine, glug. And once the wine has reduced and you can't really see it anymore, add about 150-200 ml of beef stock. Give it a good old-fashioned stir. 1 bay leaf in. At this point you want it to look too watery because it's now going to spend at least 45 minutes simmering away, reducing down and becoming really thick and lovely and delicious. If you leave it at least half an hour before you start the bechamel sauce, then you're onto a winner. The meat sauce needs time, and if you have it, give it a day, give it overnight. Seriously, it will be epically better for it. Just be patient. Oh, be careful it doesn't catch to the bottom.
Minutes.
Not 5 minutes, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Keep it on a low heat and make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. If it does catch, take it off the heat, let it chill out for a minute and put it back on the heat. So, it's the next day. Yesterday got a little bit ahead of us, as I'm sure you can relate. Everything happened. So I finished cooking my meat sauce for about 45 minutes and then I put it in the fridge overnight. And this is the joy of the lasagna because it looks and smells actually amazing.
I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah. I love
It's now the perfect consistency and all the flavours will have really magnified overnight. And also I'm not stressing because this is for dinner tomorrow. So it's worked out perfectly. Whether that's just come off the heat or it's been in the fridge, set that aside while you make your bechamel sauce and then we're going to put them together and create this masterpiece. So first off you want another saucepan and you're going to pop in 60 grams of butter. Melt that and be ready when that's melted with 45 grams of plain flour and a pint of milk, which is 600 millilitres. And what we're making here is a roux for the bechamel sauce, which will make it nice and thick. Once your butter is melted, shoot in the flour and immediately start whisking. half a minute to a minute, just moving it around the pan. This is just to make sure the flour is cooked through so you don't get any nasty flour taste. When you're happy, take it off the heat and pour in a splosh of milk and it will just go and turn into something totally different. Watch this. Keep adding splashes of milk. And every time you add a splash of milk, make sure that all of the flour and butter mixture knows about it. Really just... So it's kind of looking like this. That's it. You can, you're just doing it. That's it.
No.
That's all there is to it. So now it is a nice smooth mixture, quite thin. So we're going to put it back on the heat so it can bubble and thicken up. Are you ready to put it back on the heat?
Yeah. No, mine.
When you put it back on the heat, just make sure that you keep stirring it up because it's quite prone to sticking to the bottom. You need to just be there for this last bit, okay? Low to medium heat. So that is perfectly thick. No lumps because I've been attentive at all times. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Alright, a lot of pepper. Grate some whole nutmeg. This adds a really nice flavour. Last of all, add a teaspoon of whole grain mustard. Big one. To be honest, whatever mustard you've got, whisk it to incorporate them all. And it's looking really cool. And now comes the good bit, the compiling. Take out your bay leaf, discard it. And now put half of your bolognese mixture in here. Spread it all around. Then get yourself some pre-packaged lasagna sheets. You want to put your lasagna sheets as neatly as possible on top of the bolognese sauce. Ooh, not like that. Flat. Sorry, I should have specified. Next to it. That's it. As you can see, there are gaps that are smaller than a sheet. This is a bit where I just break things off. It never breaks in the manner you hoped for. So just try and do a little jigsaw. Can you break some off? Good girl. Now it looks like that. We've got to do the bechamel sauce. Whisk it up and then we just go slop across the top. Woo! Slop. And just by eye, guess at half. Once your toddler's had a go, just make sure that you put it into all the corners again. So then it looks like that. Then we pop the rest of the bolognese mixture on top.
One for mother, one for day.
Lasagna. Lasagna. Once you've added your final layer of bechamel sauce, you can stick a great big handful of grated cheddar on top and whack it in the oven at 180 degrees C for 40 minutes. So there you have it, your epic perfect lasagna, ready for a cosy family dinner or an impressive dinner party. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Tickly Mouth. Please do subscribe if you want some more of this that's going on here. And share with your friends and comment below the video. Go make lasagna, enjoy, conquer this dinner time idea, and come back next week for your next instalment of TM. Ooh, Tickly Mouth. Bye. High five. Digga.
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 Look at her.
Digga.
Digga, digga. Digga, 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 digga.
Digga.